And one of the studies that we were working on at the time was looking at body composition and brain volume. This one participant, we'll just call her Betty, she is the picture of the majority of 50-some-year-old women that we see today. She was a mom of 3. She had cycled through years of losing the same 10 to 20 pounds. The medical community had given the advice to eat less, exercise more, do Weight Watchers, continue to restrict your calories. When we imaged her brain looked like the beginning of an Alzheimer's brain. She pulled at a heartstring, and we failed her. We failed her. The medical community had failed her. She had done everything that she was told to do. She ate less, she exercised more, and in the process, over and over, year after year, she totally destroyed her skeletal muscle. Her body fat was easily 35% with very little skeletal muscle. She had issues with blood sugar regulation, insulin, triglycerides, all of the things that you would imagine were to happen. The thing is no one had given her any advice to improve her skeletal muscle, which is at the core of these issues. Skeletal muscle is just the focal point. To do resistance training and to improve the quality and nutrient density of her food with high quality proteins. And I feel that we just totally destroyed her life. And then I started to think, what is the one thing that all these sick patients have in common? And quite frankly, it wasn't obesity. It wasn't that they were overfat. These patients with dementia and these patients with other disease processes, what they had was they didn't have enough skeletal muscle. They had unhealthy skeletal muscle. And that's where muscle-centric medicine came from. I just wanted to share that because it really does piggyback to what you're saying is, number one, framing why is skeletal muscle so important? And we've completely missed the boat. And in fact, we don't even measure it directly, by the way. When you get a DEXA is body fat percentage. You're laughing because you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you can recognize that we've built a foundation of information and knowledge on the shoulders of things that are surrogate markers. And when you do that, inevitably, there is going to be a shift, a change in paradigm when we begin to directly measure this tissue, which is actually what is going to happen through something called a D3 creatine. It's a deuterated creatine. It's tagged creatine. We're going to take a pill and you're going to be able to see how much muscle mass you have. It's going to be a urinary test. You're going to be able to see how much muscle mass. And for the astute listener, you're going to think, we were talking about muscle mass and strength. The literature, the large body of literature would suggest that mass doesn't matter, which doesn't make any cognitive sense. The idea that skeletal mass doesn't matter, that it's all strength, that really it's about strength. And my argument would be, well, we haven't been measuring it directly. And what we're starting to see is as soon as we begin measuring skeletal muscle directly, then yes, there is a relationship between skeletal muscle mass and strength. And actually, the loss of skeletal muscle is more impactful than the gain of body fat as we age.